Let's start with our first news. Conor has once again spoken out about the injury that ended his long-awaited return at UFC 329, and this time, he believes he knows exactly what caused it. In a new post shared on social media, Conor claimed that the octagon floor became dangerously slippery because of the dry ice and fog machine used during his walkout. According to him, the moisture left on the canvas played a major role in the unfortunate incident that forced his fight to come to an early end. In his message, Conor joked about the situation, while also making it clear that he believes the conditions inside the cage were responsible for what happened. He wrote that the dry ice had made the cage floor wet, calling it a no contest, before adding that everyone should get ready because the champion would be back next year. He confidently finished the post by saying he would return at 100%, showing that despite the setback, his confidence remains completely unshaken. The comments quickly spread across social media, with fans debating whether the slippery surface actually contributed to the injury or whether it was simply an unfortunate accident. While some supporters agreed that excessive moisture from the walkout effects could have made the canvas more dangerous, others argued that injuries are simply part of mixed martial arts and that blaming the conditions would not change the outcome. At the same time, Conor also gave fans another positive update by releasing fresh training footage from his ongoing recovery. The clips showed him back inside the gym, working through different exercises while gradually rebuilding his strength and mobility. Although he is still recovering, the footage suggested that he is making steady progress and remains fully committed to returning to competition. During one of the training sessions, a coach could be heard encouraging him with positive words, praising his strength and telling him that he looked healthy and happy. The relaxed atmosphere showed that morale inside the camp remains high despite the disappointment surrounding UFC 329. Conor appeared to be in good spirits throughout the session, smiling and moving comfortably while continuing his rehabilitation. For now, there is still no official date for Conor's return, but his latest statements make one thing very clear. He has no intention of walking away from the sport. Instead, he is focused on recovering completely, returning stronger than ever, and proving that the injury was only a temporary setback in his career. According to his own message, fans should expect to see him back inside the octagon next year, fully recovered and ready for another run. Let's move on to other news. Several big UFC fights have now been officially announced, confirming a number of rumors that had been circulating over the past few weeks. One of the biggest confirmations is that RDR will officially move up in weight to face Roman Dolidze at UFC Sacramento on August 22nd. The matchup marks RDR's first appearance since suffering a decision loss to Baralho back in March. Following that defeat, RDR announced his decision to leave the middleweight division and begin a new chapter at light heavyweight. Dolidze also enters this contest looking to bounce back after consecutive losses. He has gone 3-2 in his last 5 appearances, with his most recent setback coming by unanimous decision against Christian Leroy Duncan in March. Both fighters desperately need a victory, making this an important clash for their future in the division. Meanwhile, Johnny Walker's heavyweight debut has officially been rescheduled after his planned bout in Belgrade fell apart due to his opponent withdrawing with an injury. Reports now indicate that Walker will face Mick Parkin on October 3rd at the UFC event in Utah. Parkin is coming off the first defeat of his professional career after previously building an impressive undefeated record. Walker, meanwhile, enters the fight after a split decision loss to Dominic Reyes and has struggled recently, going 1-3 with one no contest in his last 5 outings. The UFC is clearly giving him a tough challenge for his first heavyweight appearance. The UFC has also strengthened its upcoming August 8th event by adding more fights. Jesse Rosas, the older brother of Raul Rosas Jr., will make his promotional debut against Miles Johns at featherweight. Rosas enters the octagon, riding a 3-fight winning streak after capturing the UWC bantamweight title. Johns, however, desperately needs a win after dropping 3 consecutive fights. Another newcomer, Richie Miranda will make his UFC debut against Manuel Souza in the lightweight division. Souza is riding 3 straight victories, while Miranda arrives with an impressive 7-fight winning streak and the LFA lightweight championship. More additions have also been confirmed for UFC Edmonton on October 17th. Louis Jourdain, the younger brother of Charles Jourdain, will make his UFC debut against Timmy Kuya. In the main event, Mike Malott will headline the Canadian card against Joaquin Buckley in a high-stakes welterweight showdown. The co-main event will feature Erin Blanchfield taking on Jasmine Jasudavicius, making the Edmonton card even more stacked as the UFC continues building an action-packed schedule. Let's move on to other news. Paddy Pimblett recently shared a heartwarming moment with UFC legend Jon Jones after the two unexpectedly crossed paths, and the meeting quickly caught the attention of MMA fans. During the video, Paddy reminded Jones that this was far from the first time they had met. In fact, he revealed that their very first encounter happened all the way back in either 2010 or 2011 at a fan expo in Birmingham, England. Paddy explained that he was still a young fan at the time and was excited to meet one of the biggest stars in mixed martial arts. He recalled taking a photo with Jones during that event and mentioned that he also managed to get a picture with Bruce Buffer on the very same weekend. Looking back on that memory after more than a decade made the reunion even more special, especially now that Paddy has become one of the UFC's biggest names himself. Jon Jones responded warmly and congratulated Paddy on everything he has accomplished in his career. Jones told him that he was proud of how far he had come and praised the success he has achieved inside the octagon. Paddy thanked him for the kind words, clearly appreciating the respect coming from one of the greatest fighters in UFC history. The conversation quickly turned into a series of jokes, showing the relaxed atmosphere between the two stars. Paddy introduced the person standing beside him as his nutritionist, joking that this was the man responsible for helping him make weight. Jones immediately joined in on the fun, laughing along as the group continued exchanging humorous comments. The lighthearted banter did not stop there. Jones joked about being caught in the middle because he had recently spent time with Daniel Cormier as well. Referring to the longtime rivalry between himself and Cormier, Jones laughed and said he was playing both sides. Despite the joke, he made it clear that he had no issues with Daniel Cormier and kept the mood friendly throughout the conversation. The unexpected meeting gave fans a chance to see a different side of both fighters. Instead of intense competition or rivalry, the video highlighted mutual respect, shared memories, and plenty of laughter. It was a reminder of how far Paddy has come since meeting his idol as a young fan, while also showing the appreciation that established champions like Jon Jones have for the UFC's new generation of rising stars. Let's move on to other news. Paulo Costa is continuing to stir up controversy following UFC Abu Dhabi, and this time his target is Magomed Ankalaev. Even several days after the event, Costa has not backed down from criticizing Ankalaev's performance against Bogdan Guskov. The Brazilian made his thoughts very clear on social media, taking aim at both Ankalaev's fighting style and his future in the division. Costa responded to fans who had suggested potential opponents for his next fight. Some believed he should face Jiří Procházka, while others wanted to see him take on Ankalaev. However, Costa quickly dismissed both ideas with a series of sharp comments. He claimed that Jiří was coming off what he described as a bad loss before turning his attention to Ankalaev. Costa mocked the light heavyweight contender by saying that after another super boring performance, Ankalaev was closer to being released than earning another title opportunity. Those comments quickly reached Ankalaev, who wasted no time firing back. The former champion responded by revealing that the UFC had actually offered him a fight against Costa on the same card as his most recent appearance. According to Ankalaev, he immediately accepted the matchup, but suggested that Costa was unlikely to accept the challenge himself. He accused the Brazilian of making excuses and even challenged him to fight as soon as next week if he was truly serious about settling their differences inside the octagon. Rather than backing down, Costa escalated the exchange even further. He posted a picture of himself charging toward Ankalaev inside the cage during UFC Abu Dhabi, referencing the tense moment that caught the attention of fans watching the event. Alongside the image, Costa wrote that it was exactly what everyone watching had wanted to see. The post quickly gained traction across social media, with many fans reacting to the heated confrontation and discussing whether the rivalry should become an official UFC fight. The online back and forth has only added more fuel to the growing tension between the two fighters. While no bout has been officially announced, both men have now publicly exchanged challenges and insults, making the matchup even more intriguing. If the UFC decides to book the fight, there's already plenty of bad blood to promote it, and the rivalry has all the ingredients to become one of the most talked about matchups in the light heavyweight division. Let's move on to other news. The mystery surrounding Michael Morales' next fight continues, but one thing has now become much clearer. After Morales recently revealed that his next UFC bout had officially been booked, fans immediately began speculating about who his opponent would be. Social media was quickly flooded with rumors linking the undefeated welterweight to several high-profile names, creating plenty of excitement throughout the MMA community. Among the most talked-about possibilities were Yaroslav Amosov and Carlos Prates. Many fans believed that one of those two fighters would be standing across the octagon from Morales in his next appearance. The rumors spread rapidly online, with countless discussions suggesting that the UFC had already finalized one of those matchups behind the scenes. However, those reports have now been shut down. MMA Junkie's respected reporter Nolan King addressed the speculation directly in a recent post on X, explaining that the widespread rumors were inaccurate. According to King, he spoke with multiple sources who confirmed that neither Yaroslav Amosov nor Carlos Prates is currently scheduled to fight Morales in any capacity. That update immediately changed the conversation surrounding Morales' future. While it confirms that his next fight has indeed been arranged, it also leaves fans wondering who the UFC has selected as his opponent. With two of the biggest rumored names now ruled out, the possibilities remain wide open as supporters continue trying to predict the promotion's plans. Morales has continued building impressive momentum inside the welterweight division and is viewed by many as one of the UFC's brightest young prospects. His undefeated record and dominant performances have made him one of the division's fastest rising contenders, meaning expectations for his next matchup are extremely high. Whoever the UFC has chosen will likely represent another significant step forward in his career. For now, the promotion has not officially revealed the identity of Morales' opponent, and the matchup remains under wraps. Until an official announcement is made, fans should be cautious about believing every rumor that circulates online. As this latest report demonstrates, not every widely shared claim turns out to be accurate. At the moment, the only confirmed information is that Morales has a fight booked, but it will not be against Yaroslav Amosov or Carlos Prates. The official announcement is still expected in the near future, and until then, the speculation surrounding one of the UFC's most promising undefeated fighters is certain to continue. Let's move on to other news. Michel Pereira is not giving up on the controversial result of his fight against Ciryl Gane at UFC Baku. After suffering a disappointing loss and later being released by the UFC, Pereira is now taking legal action in an attempt to have the outcome of the fight officially reviewed. The controversy began during the bout, when many fans noticed several questionable moments involving Ciryl Gane. Throughout the fight, Pereira claimed that his opponent repeatedly grabbed his hair and also landed eye pokes. Despite those incidents, referee Herb Dean only issued warnings and never deducted a point. That decision quickly became one of the biggest talking points following the event, with many fans debating whether the officiating had a direct impact on the final result. Now, Pereira has confirmed that he and his lawyer are actively appealing the decision. Speaking during a recent interview with Ignition Poker Brazil, the Brazilian explained that they are continuing to work behind the scenes in hopes of getting the fight officially reviewed by the appropriate authorities. Pereira made it clear that he understands accidental fouls can happen during a fight. Eye pokes and low blows are sometimes unavoidable in mixed martial arts, but he believes this situation was very different. According to Pereira, Ciryl Gane grabbed his hair on 3 separate occasions during the contest. While Herb Dean acknowledged the fouls by issuing warnings, Pereira believes that failing to deduct a point completely changed the outcome of the fight. He also pointed to the official scorecards as evidence supporting his argument. Pereira stated that if just 1 point had been deducted for the repeated fouls, the final result would have been a 28-28 draw instead of a loss. From his perspective, that single officiating decision had major consequences, not only for the fight itself, but also for his professional career. Pereira admitted that the entire situation has left him deeply frustrated. He explained that fighters are constantly reminded about the rules during pre-fight meetings, yet he believes those same rules were not properly enforced when it mattered the most inside the octagon. In his view, inconsistent officiating ultimately cost him both the result of the fight and his future with the UFC. For now, there has been no official response regarding the appeal, but Pereira remains determined to continue fighting for what he believes was an unfair outcome. Whether the result is eventually changed or not, the controversy surrounding UFC Baku continues to generate strong discussion throughout the MMA community. Let's move on to other news. Despite years of rivalry and heated exchanges, it appears that the relationship between Conor and Islam has changed in recent months. The two fighters, who were once involved in one of the UFC's most intense rivalries through their teams and public comments, now seem to share a level of mutual respect that few expected to see. Following Conor's disappointing return at UFC 329, Islam spoke openly about the result during an interview with Complex Sports. Instead of celebrating the setback, Islam admitted that he actually felt sympathy for the former two-division champion and was disappointed by the way everything unfolded inside the octagon. Islam explained that he had expected Max Holloway to win the fight, but he never imagined the contest would end so quickly. According to him, he believed Max had the advantage going into the matchup, yet he was hoping to see a much longer and more competitive fight after Conor had spent nearly 5 years away from active competition. Speaking honestly about the outcome, Islam said he felt bad watching everything happen. He explained that, as a fighter, he wanted to see how Conor would perform after such a long absence from the sport. The extended layoff had created enormous curiosity among fans and fellow fighters alike, and many were eager to find out whether Conor could still compete at the highest level after so much time away. Instead, the fight came to an abrupt end almost immediately, leaving many questions unanswered. Rather than seeing a full display of Conor's abilities, the contest was over before either fighter had the opportunity to settle into the matchup. That quick finish surprised many people throughout the MMA community, including Islam himself. His comments also highlight how perspectives can change over time in mixed martial arts. While fierce rivalries often dominate headlines, many elite fighters ultimately develop respect for one another after years of competing at the highest level. Islam's reaction suggests that despite everything that has happened between their camps in the past, he still appreciates what Conor has accomplished in the sport. For Conor, the loss at UFC 329 marked another difficult chapter in his career, but support has continued to come from unexpected places. Islam's comments show that even longtime rivals can recognize the challenges of returning after years away from competition. Rather than focusing on old rivalries, he simply expressed disappointment that fans were unable to witness the comeback they had all been waiting for.